Hey there, English learners. Welcome to Wordplay English, your go-to podcast for natural and engaging English conversations. I'm Gusto.
And I'm Geneva. We're here to help you improve your English skills while having fun.
That's right, Geneva. And today, we've got an exciting topic lined up. We're diving into the world of apartment hunting.
Oh, I remember my last apartment hunt, Gusto. It was quite an adventure.
I bet it was. And that's exactly what our listeners will experience today. We'll follow a young couple, Mike and Emma, as they look for their first apartment together.
Sounds great. What can our listeners expect to learn today, Gusto?
Well, they'll hear real estate terms, descriptive language, and even some negotiation phrases. It's going to be packed with useful vocabulary.
Perfect for anyone planning to rent in an English-speaking country, or just wanting to expand their vocabulary.
Absolutely. So, grab a cup of coffee, get comfy, and let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
All right, listeners, it's time to tune into Mike and Emma's apartment hunt. They're about to meet their first landlord.
I'm excited to hear this. Let's listen in.
English Conversations.
Hi there. You must be Mike and Emma. I'm John, the landlord. Come on in.
Nice to meet you, John. Thanks for showing us the apartment today.
Yeah, we're really excited to take a look around.
Of course. Let me give you the grand tour. So, this is the living room. As you can see, it's got plenty of natural light thanks to those big windows.
Oh, wow. It does feel really bright and airy in here.
Yeah, and it seems pretty spacious too. What do you think about the layout, Em?
I like it. There's definitely enough room for a couch and a small dining table.
Exactly. Now, if you'll follow me, I'll show you the kitchen. Here we are. It's a fully equipped kitchen with stainless steel appliances, including a dishwasher and a microwave.
That's great. Having a dishwasher is definitely a plus.
Agreed. Oh, and look at all this counter space. I could really see us cooking together here.
Glad you like it. Now, let's check out the bedroom and bathroom. This is the master bedroom. It comes with a built-in closet for storage.
It's a good size. What do you think about the carpet, Mike?
I'm not a huge fan of carpet in bedrooms. Do you allow tenants to change the flooring, John?
Well, we typically don't allow major renovations, but we could discuss some options if you decide to rent.
That's fair. Let's see the bathroom now.
Right this way. It's a full bath with a tub shower combo.
Looks clean and well maintained. That's definitely a plus.
Yeah, and I like the tile work. Oh, John, I noticed there's a small balcony off the living room. Is that included in the rent?
Yes, it is. It's perfect for some potted plants or a couple of chairs to enjoy your morning coffee.
That sounds great. So, what's the rent for this place?
We're asking $1,500 per month, utilities not included. There's also a security deposit equal to 1 month's rent.
I see. And what's your policy on pets?
We do allow cats, but there's an additional pet deposit of $300.
Got it. And how long is the lease term?
We offer both 6-month and 12-month leases. The 12-month lease comes with a slight discount on the monthly rent.
That's good to know. Mike, what do you think overall?
It's definitely a contender. John, would it be alright if we took a few minutes to discuss privately?
Of course. Take your time. I'll be in the living room when you're ready.
Whispering, so, what do you think, Em?
Whispering, I like it, but I'm a bit concerned about the rent. It's at the top of our budget.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Maybe we could try negotiating a bit?
Good idea. We could mention that we're interested in a long-term lease. That might give us some leverage.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go talk to John. John, we've had a chance to chat, and we're definitely interested in the apartment.
That said, we're looking for something a bit more budget-friendly. Would you be open to negotiating the rent if we committed to a 12-month lease?
I appreciate your interest. While I can't lower the base rent, I could offer you a $50 monthly discount for a 12-month lease. How does that sound?
That's definitely moving in the right direction. Could you also waive the pet deposit? We have a cat, but she's very well behaved.
I can't waive it entirely, but I could reduce it to $150. That's the best I can do.
We understand. Mike, what do you think?
It's tempting, but I think we should sleep on it and maybe look at a couple more places before making a decision.
I agree. John, Thank you so much for showing us the apartment. We'll get back to you in a couple of days if that's all right.
Absolutely. Take your time. I'll hold the apartment for 48 hours. Just give me a call if you decide to move forward.
Great, thanks again.
Wow, that was quite a negotiation at the end there, wasn't it, Geneva?
It sure was. Mike and Emma did a great job expressing their interests and concerns. Now, shall we break down some of that key vocabulary we heard?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
Okay, Gusto, what words or phrases stood out to you in that conversation?
Well, there were quite a few, Geneva. Let's start with grand tour. The landlord offered to give Mike and Emma a grand tour of the apartment.
Right. Grand tour is an expression meaning a complete tour of a place. You might hear someone say, "Let me give you the grand tour of our office."
Exactly. Another term that caught my attention was fully equipped when describing the kitchen.
Good one. Fully equipped means having all the necessary items or features. For example, the gym is fully equipped with modern exercise machines.
These are great for describing places, aren't they? Oh, and let's not forget built-in closet.
Ah yes, a built-in closet is a closet that's constructed as part of the room, not a separate piece of furniture. You might say, the bedroom has a spacious built-in closet for all your clothes.
I also noticed they use the term tub-shower combo for the bathroom.
That's right. A tub-shower combo is a bathroom fixture that combines a bathtub and a shower in one unit. It's a common feature in many apartments.
And of course, we can't forget about security deposit.
Absolutely. A security deposit is money paid by a tenant to a landlord as security against damage to the property. It's usually returned when you move out if there's no damage.
They also talked about the lease term. That's an important one.
Indeed. The lease term refers to the duration of a rental agreement. In the conversation, they mentioned both 6-month and 12-month options.
Mike used the word contender when describing the apartment. I thought that was interesting.
Good catch. In this context, a contender means a strong possibility or option. Mike was saying that this apartment was definitely one they'd consider renting.
And finally, Emma used the phrase budget-friendly when trying to negotiate.
Yes, budget-friendly is a polite way of saying affordable or not too expensive. It's a great phrase to use when you're trying to negotiate a lower price.
Great explanations, Geneva. These terms and phrases are so useful for anyone dealing with real estate or rentals in English-speaking countries.
Absolutely, Gusto. Now, shall we move on to some common mistakes English learners might make in these situations?
Let's do it.
All right, Gusto, what's a common mistake you've noticed English learners make when talking about renting?
Well, one I see a lot is confusing rent and hire. Some learners might say, "How much does it cost to hire this apartment?"
Oh, good catch. In English, we rent apartments, houses, and cars, but we hire people or services. So the correct phrase would be, how much does it cost to rent this apartment?
Exactly. Another tricky one is using prepositions with lease.
Oh, I know this one. Some people might say, we want to lease the apartment in 12 months, but that's not quite right.
Right you are. We should say, we want to lease the apartment for 12 months. Remember, we lease for a period of time, not in or during.
Good point. I've also noticed some learners struggle with word order and questions.
Yes. They might ask, how long is the lease term? Instead of how long is the lease term?
Exactly. In English questions, we usually put the auxiliary verb, is, are, do, does, before the subject.
Another common error is using furnitures instead of furniture.
Oh, that's a tricky one. Furniture is an uncountable noun in English, so it doesn't have a plural form. You'd say, does the apartment come with furniture? Not furnitures.
And finally, I've noticed some confusion between make and do in this context.
Right. Some learners might say, can we do some changes to the apartment? When they should say, can we make some changes to the apartment?
Good example. While both make and do mean to perform an action, make is used for creating or constructing, while do is used for general activities.
These are all such helpful tips, Gusto. Remember, listeners, don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're a natural part of learning any language.
Absolutely, Geneva. Now, how about we explore some cultural aspects of apartment hunting in English-speaking countries?
Sounds fascinating. Let's do it.
So, Geneva, what's something that might surprise our listeners about renting in English-speaking countries?
Well, one thing that often surprises people is the importance of credit scores, especially in the United States. Landlords often check credit scores to assess a potential tenant's financial reliability.
That's true. And let's not forget about realtors. While our conversation featured a landlord, Many people use real estate agents, or realtors, to help them find apartments.
Good point, Gusto. These professionals can be very helpful, especially if you're new to an area.
Another cultural aspect is the first month, last month, and security deposit tradition. Have you encountered this, Geneva?
Oh yes. It's common in many places for landlords to ask for the first month's rent, last month's rent, and a security deposit up front. It can be a significant amount of money, so it's important to budget for it.
Absolutely. And what about open houses? They're quite popular in some countries, aren't they?
They sure are. In some places, landlords or realtors might host open houses, where multiple potential tenants can view a property at the same time. It can create quite a competitive atmosphere.
I've also heard the phrase location used a lot in real estate. What's that about?
That's a popular saying that emphasizes how important an apartment's location is. It often affects the price more than the features of the apartment itself.
Interesting. And what about roommate culture? That's quite common in some English-speaking countries, isn't it?
Definitely. In many English-speaking countries, it's common for young adults to share apartments with roommates to save on rent, especially in expensive cities.
One last thing. I've heard about lease renewal negotiations. Can you explain that?
Sure. When a lease is about to expire, it's normal to negotiate with your landlord for better terms if you want to stay. This might include asking for improvements to the apartment or trying to keep the rent from increasing.
Wow, there's so much to consider when renting in a new country.
There really is, Gusto. Understanding these cultural norms can really help navigate the rental market more effectively in English-speaking countries.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's about time we wrap up this episode. Shall we recap?
Let's do it. And there you have it, folks. We've taken a deep dive into the world of apartment hunting in English.
We sure have. We listened to a real-life conversation between a young couple and a landlord, picking up key real estate terms and negotiation phrases along the way.
We also reviewed important vocabulary, discussed common mistakes English learners might make, and explored some cultural insights about renting in English-speaking countries.
I hope you found this episode helpful and engaging. Remember, the best way to improve your English is to practice, practice, practice.
Why not try role-playing an apartment viewing conversation with a friend?
Great idea, Geneva. And listeners, don't forget to tune into our next episode. We'll be exploring the world of job interviews in English.
Oh, that's going to be a good one. How do you make a great first impression? What questions should you expect? You'll have to tune in to find out.
Until then, keep playing with words, and happy learning.
Bye everyone.